Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show.
Oh dear, you talk about a collusion of problems. First of all, wait a minute, Jim, I'm still hearing that. Yeah, you came back on. I don't know where it's coming from. Are we still getting the echo? No. Okay. I fell asleep. I only woke up a couple minutes ago. I've been running back and forth to rehab with my wife, and I thought, oh, I'll just sit down here and put my feet up for a few minutes, and then I'll come and do some stuff and get ready. No, I just woke up a few minutes ago, rushed in here, got our guest on the line. I didn't even get his. I apologize, Joe. I didn't get your thumbnail up. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Skydog, for coming in here. And so Jim has got some kind of an echo in his system. He's got so many wires over there, he doesn't know whether he's coming or going. And so he's got himself muted, so I'm kind of stuck here. This is the OhioRAAM Show, a show about UltraCycling. Let's get going. There's Mr. Skydog. Thank you for being here. Let's get going. The people who bring that to you are the wonderful folks who operate our time stations here in Ohio. Oxford, time station 41, Blanchester, time station 42, and Chillicothe, 43. We'll be talking more about them. And Jim, we want to talk about Minium, the sign man, who puts all those signs up across Indiana and Ohio. And if you'd like to help him on that, go to the OhioRAAMshow.com website, and there you'll find a link where you can send him a bit of money. We can't send you a sign, but if you send him $10 in US and come by one of our time stations when the race is on, we'll give you a sign. Just bring evidence you did that. We can't send them to you, but that's that. So, Jim, we're going to give away. We didn't talk about this either. Let's give away a T-shirt today, okay? About time we did that. You got any plaques up with news on it at all, Jim? Okay, I don't know. It doesn't look like there's any changes in the race that I see right offhand. Oh, thank you. The nations, we brought those up. USA 21, United Kingdom 9, Switzerland 1. You could read them all through there. Germany has 5. Yeah, okay. So we're well represented. The Ride for Jury, April the 10th, and rideforjury.org is the website. It's for Yuri Robic, who we remember each year. I believe it's on his birthday, isn't it, Jim? Yeah. So I have to have Jim help. Our partners, yes. Race Across America, of course. Thank you for allowing us to use your name. The Great Spiegel Bikes, Infinity Seats, which Jim loves dearly, both his bikes and the seats. And hey, while we're on that subject, I have something to show you. I had a Spiegel bike when I was a kid. I found a picture of it. The Spiegel Roll Fast. Ha. Okay. Well, let's talk. You didn't want me to show that bike, Jim. Happy birthday, Lon Holtman. Yeah, happy birthday, Lon. We want to say hello to you, the first winner of the Race Across America. What a wonderful, gentle giant he is. And we wish him well on this birthday. Well, anyhow, we had a Spiegel catalog when I was a kid. And I remember the name of my first bike. It was a Roll Fast, and I looked it up, and lo and behold, it came from Spiegel, and it cost $34.95 in this catalog. I think that's probably what my parents paid for it. Put a lot of miles on that baby, though. I'll tell you, all over western Miami County, Jim. I put it on there. How are we doing now? I don't hear it now, Jim. I think you're on. Okay. Hi, Jim. Say hello. Maybe he can't hear me now. Anyhow, whatever. Okay. Now we're really, really excited about next week. But before we get to next week, and again, I didn't get this thumbnail up, we're going to have an extra show this week on Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. We're going to have Carolyn Worrell and Jessica Vanderbroek, who was the first and second women in the Sebring 100. And they both have the same time. Now, I don't know if they came across the finish line together or not. We're going to find out more on that, whether they were a staggered start and all that. And I think, Jim, let me know, is April going to be with us for that? I hope so. She did her first 100, and that's Jim's life partner, and we hope that she can be with us to talk to these women. Now, let me find this announcement for next week.
Hey, Lee, do we still have an echo?
I do not hear an echo now. Whatever it is, you found it. So what have I missed, Jim? Oh, be sure and give us your comments. Tell us where you're from. And your name goes in a hopper for a giveaway. And we're going to give away a T-shirt, a OhioRAAM Show T-shirt today. Goodness, we got to get to our guests. But yeah, I talked about Carolyn and Jessica being on the show. If I act like I just woke up, I did. But next week, next Sunday, I am so excited, Jim. We're going to another new country.
Mm-hmm.
Portugal today is a new country for us, and a new venture in UltraCycling. Well, let's just run this.
Hello everyone, my name is Salome Kanini from Machakos County. Currently, I'm based in Nairobi town, and that is in Kenya. I am the founder of Majatela Cycling Club here in Nairobi, and we are locally known as Dada Rides Racing Team. This year, I'm planning to do the first World Ultra Cycling Association record here in Africa. I'll attempt this record later this summer. Thank you to OhioRAAM Show for helping me make contact with UCAP and guide us on. I'll be on the OhioRAAM Show next Sunday, April 3rd, and on Thursday, the show will publish broadcast time in part of your world. Please join me on the show. I hope to answer all your questions about my cycling, about cycling in Kenya, and my attempt in the challenge. See you then. Thank you very much.
I don't know about you, Jim, but I'm excited about this. I say
Definitely.
We are not the father or mother of UltraCycling in Africa, but we are midwifing it.
Definitely. It's going to be a
And,
great sport there.
We were able to put Sally in touch with the World UltraCycling Association. She took the bull by the horn. She plans an event this summer. We will cover it when it happens. Hopefully live or as live as we can make it.
Yes.
And we hope this is the start of something big. I want to tell you, this woman puts in some serious miles. I should say serious kilometers. When I first heard what she was doing, I thought, whoa. And I won't get into that, but we're just so excited to talk to Sally next week. And she has some sponsors here in the United States from the Major Tailor Club here in Columbus, Ohio. We hope that the major tailor clubs around the country will be tuning in next week.
Definitely.
Hey, we've kept this guy away long enough. So, Joe, we are so sorry. Normally, we are a little less stumbly in what we do here. Welcome to the OhioRAAM show.
No worries. Hi, Lee. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
Thank you for having me here first, and hello to everyone watching.
Yeah, we're glad to have you with us. Um, Joe, my first question is, what's Iron Pigeon? How did you get that name?
Well, that's my last name is Pombinho. It's Portuguese for something like little pigeon. So apparently, I'm not too short. I'm 1 meter 93, about 6'3". But somehow they managed to call me Pombinho, which means little pigeon. But it's funny that way. So Iron Pigeon came also from that, and the fact that I started my ultra racing and endurance in triathlons, Ironman racing, and everything connected. So it came naturally. I believe it was a friend of mine when once I did my first Ironman back in 2016 in Barcelona, and he just nicked me Iron Pigeon, and it stuck.
Well, my daughter in law comes from Brazil, and I'm going to be next time I talk to her. I say I know a new Portuguese word.
Yeah, you should be careful because Pombinho is also known as the lovebirds. So I don't know about Brazil, but drive carefully there.
Okay. Well, I kind of like the lovebird better, really. But yeah, great. Well, that's wonderful. Well, tell us a little about your background in ultracycling. You said a little bit there, but what it is, and the question I always interested in is how you qualified for the race across America.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I told you, I had a background mostly on competitive tennis. Also did some bikings, shorter and longer distances with my dad. There was a point in 2015 when I was a bit recovering from a disc surgery on my back a few years ago, and I knew I needed a more frequent and ongoing challenge. So I took up triathlon, and that was when I first came into the more endurance medium and tested myself in endurance, and I quite enjoyed it. The physical part, the planning, and also the mind struggles you get in preparing and especially racing. It's a part I really do enjoy. So in the last few years, despite doing some triathlons, then moving to extreme triathlons such as Norseman, I've always flirted with the most romantic side of road cycling, such as we call it here in Europe the five monuments, but races like Paris-Roubaix, Liège-Bastogne-Liège, Giro de Lombardia, Milan-San Remo, those are the Ronde for Flanders. Those are the kind of races in Central Europe that are most famous from last century and which have the most exploits and history and passion amongst Euro road riders. So I took on those kind of challenges in the last years, and especially when the pandemic struck and COVID. I already had an knack for ultra racing, but it completely took off as most of the events that where I took up ultra are not organized; they are self-supported. So most bikepacking oriented, self-supported. We've got Portugal Divide here in Portugal, which is a quite nice event. The challenge, it doesn't have a fixed route even. The challenge is for you to go through the northernmost, southernmost, east and westernmost points of the country, also the highest point in Serra da Estrela, and the geodesic center of Portugal. So you choose your route. You just make sure you go through all of those points, get a stamp when you get there, communicate back to the headquarters, and that's the race format. So there's no support, no start date. You just do it on your own, which is perfect for a pandemic setting where most of the events were canceled. In the summer, well, I quite enjoyed that event. I had a nasty fall in the last day, and I'm still recovering a bit from it. But I managed to finish it. And within 6 weeks, I went to North Cape 4000, and it was quite an experience, quite an adventure. It started in Italy, ended up in the northernmost point of Europe, at North Cape in Norway. So it was really rewarding trip. It was 10 countries from Italy, Slovenia, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, and Norway. And the point is, as it was completely self-supported, it was really enjoyable. You get to meet local people. You need to fix your own clothing and foods, and your manage your route, wake up times, wherever. And I really enjoyed it. So the next logical step was getting child friend of mine, which is also happens to be my dentist also, João Miguel, and also a professional friend of mine, and we took up to Germany to race across Germany about a month later, and that's where I got qualified. It was our first race together, their first race giving support, so we needed to learn while we did it, but we did it with 1 hour and something to spare. It was about 36 or 37 hours, I don't remember. But anyways, we got qualified last September. And that was it. That was the qualifying. So now I needed to take a break in the last few months, take care of a nasty shoulder neck I picked up in a heavy fall at Portugal Divide at the last day. But now it's definitely fixed. So I believe it's all coming along.
Excellent. Will you be taking those two crew with you to RAAM, or do you have a different crew? Do you have a different crew?
Joao is definitely joining the crew. We've identified together 5 more members of the crew. By the way, and since you're mentioning we are hiring, we lost one due to professional reasons a week ago. And we also have the funny fact that one of the appointed crew members is an official at the Portuguese Army. So let's wait that things don't escalate back in the Ukraine or neighboring countries. So we don't lose an extra member.
Hey, I got a question when you talk about North Cape, and we had Meg Hakkinen on the show many times, who did North Cape a few years ago. Your route, you mentioned Finland and then Norway. Now, if I remember my geography, so you took the ferry from, what was it, Estonia?
Tallinn.
Okay, to Finland?
Helsinki. Yeah.
To Helsinki. Now, did you ride the length of Finland and then cross over at the top? How did that?
That's exactly it is. It was national route number 4, which crosses from essentially Helsinki up to Inari, I guess, and a bit closer to Inari, you just turn left and into the northernmost.
So you missed Sweden then by going all the way up and around.
I didn't touch Sweden exactly. It was straight into the northernmost part of Norway, and then into Majorca Island and the tunnel, and that was that. But it was only the final day.
I know that those countries all kind of come together right there at the top, but I was never quite sure how that works. And of course, we talk about Russia these days. At the end of World War II, they finagled a little part of Finland up there, so that's kind of interesting. Sorry for the geographic interruption, Jim.
No worries. It's also funny that I found myself quite closer to Russia than I ever thought I'd be. But about midway to Finland, there were many Russian signs and distances, and said, "Whoa, I'm really close to Russia."
Yeah. Well, there's a little neck of Finland that Russia weaseled away during World War II from Finland. So I don't know that they actually have access to the North Sea. I'll have to look at my maps and see that. I'm sorry for that geographic interruption, but you're talking to an old map person, Jim.
Definitely. How are you training and prepping for RAAM as it gets closer?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I had a surgery early years, so I needed to really ramp up my training using turbo sessions, as I did for the previous events. And within 2 weeks, I'm taking it back to very long rides on the weekends with the full crew support mode. But up until now, I've been mostly doing gym work and a mix of turbo sessions, essentially some shorter ones, 40 minutes, 1 hour and a half with very high intensity, and some obviously longer ones. But it's not really the same, because the longer ones, the main objective is actually to be comfortable on the bike. And no matter how much you try to equate to the outdoor setting, it's just not the same. The way the bike rolls, the balance, the wind. But it gets your cardio system working and pumping. Then the comfort will have to come in the following weeks.
Definitely. How are you handling nutrition for RAAM?
Yeah, nutrition-wise, it's going to be quite a puzzle. We need to have a B, C, and D backup plan. So I'm trying to get mostly worked out into liquid nutrition with a brand I've used for the past few years, which mixes dense and slow absorption carbohydrates with some level of protein in order to contain your muscle breakdown. But as I've found out in the kind of the rhythms, especially doing North Cape, it's very endurance-y like, so you don't have as much restrictions as you have in very offensive and high intensity cycling. So
right.
As I'll probably get a bit bored, and my stomach also, of just liquid nutrition, we're trying to sprinkle it up with not only some shoes, which are mostly the same kind of solution, but on a solid state. So you get to absorb it in a different way, and don't get so fatigued just with the liquids. But also trying the different foods along the day, and the difficult part, obviously, will be dealing with the temperatures, especially high temperatures, and the digestibility. So we'll probably get the less troublesome, let's call it like that, to your digestive system when it's hotter, and then the body will have to deal with some variety later on to compensate.
Gotcha. Since you mentioned the temperature, how are you training for the heat at the beginning?
Within Portugal, you're probably asking the right guy, because I was born in Alentejo, which is it's known to be the hottest region in Portugal. And I've always trained competitively, especially tennis, during my teenage years, with around 40 degrees. So it's not something that's very, very strange. Of course, that the desert, it's different. It's not just the heat per se, but also the overall temperature feeling, it will be quite different. So some of the training rides will be deliberately trying to find the hottest days in the southernmost parts of my hometown region, Alentejo, and also most of the crews. So basically 80% of the crew is also from there, and they'll certainly make sure I'll be going through the hell as possible during training.
Outstanding. It sounds like you got a great plan. My normal question, are you going to do an RV, follow cars, mix, or what's your plan there?
Yeah, I think it's, even if we went to the RV route, it would be quite late to do so, because most of them are taken, the coast-to-coast ones. I mean, but that was not really our first choice anyway, mostly due to dependability reasons and the fact we are not in US. I mean, if you were there, probably there would be some friends, some closer contact that we could use to find the more dependable, or at least a solution we could count on and be more confident about. We are not really experienced using RV, so we do not like to experiment things on the race itself. And we'll probably going to a very a larger 7-seater vehicle, probably 2 of those, and we are getting used to that. The most probably hard decision point on that is how can we do some rest, and we have a tactic that involves the non-direct follow-up vehicle to leave a little later and come to the destination a bit sooner, so the crew can also rest and not depend on the RV to do so. As of myself, I will have to be prepared to sleep on an inflatable mattress, or if possible, we have predefined next to the road places where, if possible, if it's the intervals checked there, we'll be able to check in and sleep the glue over into 2 different cycles overnight.
Let me interrupt here. We've got some new people popped in, Jim, and we want to make sure you get a chance at the OhioRAAM Show T-shirt. So if you're out there, please just either in Facebook or YouTube, just tell us where you're at, if nothing else, and that gives you a chance at a T-shirt. We want to give one away today, and there's some people who already have one here, so I don't know. But Jim, I'm interested. This is between us. We have more viewers today on YouTube than we do on Facebook. That's a change for us.
Outstanding.
I'd like to have more viewers on Facebook as well, but that shows that our efforts to enhance our viewership there is paying some results.
Yep. And such a great guest today.
Oh yeah. So glad to bring some people here from Portugal. If you're from Portugal, let us know. We'd like to give that T-shirt to somebody in Portugal. Not that we're against anybody, you understand? But you people in Denmark have already got a whole bunch of stuff. So if you're from Portugal, just give us your name, put it in the comment there in YouTube or Facebook. If you happen to be on Twitter, I'm sorry, it doesn't work there. But tell us where you're at. And well, Puerto Rico shows up. Okay.
Maria's out there.
We love you too, Maria. She's going to be on the show a little later in a few weeks. So I'll tell that. Maria, it's we're fumbling around as usual. I almost overslept, but we'll be seeing you. So be sure and let us know you're here. We want to give this T-shirt away. And we really would like to give it to somebody from Portugal if they're out there. Let us know.
Okay, Lee, I must make a comment now because I don't know if you guys have checked the race roster at the site, but the Portuguese flag also needs to be given to the organization because it's apparently still missing on the website.
Definitely.
So, guys, please show our flag, okay, so that everyone knows.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything to do about that.
I know, but I had to mention it.
Let's not get into the RAAM website or discussions about it right now. We'll leave that subject alone. Help me, Jim. I'm still waking up.
One other question I normally ask: how many bikes are you bringing, and what kind of types? Road, more aero, etc.
Yeah, I'm bringing in 2 bikes. One road, which is my plain endurance bike. I've made all the challenges I mentioned before in that bike. It's a specialized Roubaix. It was my dad's bike, by the way, so I make a point of bringing it and carrying it over. And also taking my triathlon bike, which is more, well, it was made a bit more comfy. But it will certainly help due to the kind of rims and, of course, the rigidity of it. And especially, well, obviously, I may have to use it if something catastrophic happens as a backup bike, but also as a performance bike. If I find myself on the 4th, 5th, 6 days having to play too much with the wind, that's probably the best bike to go about.
Gotcha. How are you going to deal with the climbing aspects at the early stages and at the end?
Well, that's a tough question. I need to drop some kilos. I'm actually about 7 or 8 kilos above my general racing weight at the middle end of these kind of events, say North Cape. So I still need to trim down a bit and also adapt specifically for those kinds of climb, because climb is obviously not all made to be the same. I'm doing some weekend training here in the Portuguese mountains at Serra da Estrela, which is in the center of Portugal. It's about 2/3 of the height. So in terms of hypoxia and oxygen, I can only go a bit far into training and conditioning for that, but it's obviously better than nothing. And
Yes.
living in Lisbon, I'm at sea level, so anything around 1,000 meters and upwards, which is about 3,000 feet, up to 6,000 feet at Serra da Estrela. That's the kind of conditions I'll have to prepare to.
Excellent. Lee?
Well, I just want to say we're glad to have Portugal represented at last in the race across America. And we wish you well. Here in Ohio, we have our 3 time stations, and there will be bells ringing.
And a Portugal flag.
And the Portugal flag, and a lot of other things to welcome you and send you on your way. We understand you're there to race, not stop and talk to us. But if your crew stops and says hello, we like that. Or it's a good place to take a sleep if that's you hit there the right time, because it takes about 8 hours, 12 hours, depending on how you count, to get across here. And we love you all. Jim, I think it's time to give away a T-shirt.
Okay. Does he want to say anything about sponsors or charity?
Oh, actually, you're not raising funds for a charity, but you do have a charity which you love and would like to say a word about, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a cause, I'm very oriented to do some raising to cancer research and alleviation. I'm still on the putting some finishing touches with the Portuguese League Against Cancer. We've been talking in the last weeks, and probably we are going to go that route. The cause, anyways, will be that one. We are still trying to find the right mechanism, because I really like to find out some donation matching that I could do with other companies and institutes, so that for each amount that gets collected and contributed by individuals, then it will get multiplied and leveraged up. And that's the kind of mechanism we are still fine-tuning. But regardless of that, during the race, we have that objective of doing it on a, let's say, kilometer by kilometer or mile to mile base, so that anything that happens, it's always contributing and raising and progressing towards it. So the actual collection will happen during the event itself, and I welcome the opportunity to mention it right now, and we'll obviously do some amp up in the social media, so we get appropriate coverage and the appropriate raising by then.
Got some people checking in, Jim.
Definitely. Great job.
I'm glad to see those people I assume they're from Portugal. Their names seem to indicate something of that nature. Yeah, I was going to say, if you go to the OhioRAAM Show website, OhioRAAMshow.com, there's a link there to that league. And actually, you're fortunate, because you click on it, you will see it in English. If you're in the United States, or Portuguese, you can switch back and forth between those. Okay. Have we got anybody else? Any other comments here?
I haven't seen new ones yet.
Okay. Let's give away a T-shirt.
Let me get it arranged here.
Here we go.
All right. We'll give it go now.
And you think you're going to win, and then you haven't.
It fools you.
It fools you.
Do you want to draw again?
She's got a T-shirt, I think.
Yes.
Or got something. Let's roll again.
Okay. Excellent.
We got somebody from Portugal. Okay. Antonio, tell him how to send that.
That's what I'm looking
and
for.
When you send your information in, your address, your shipping address, be sure it's men or women, small, medium, large, or extra large.
Yeah.
And
you can
that's
send your-
winner at OhioRAAMshow.live.
Definitely.
And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, Joe, don't go away when we end the show. We'll chat a little bit, okay? Oh, winner at OhioRAAMshow.live. Small, medium, large, extra large, men or women. I was checking on that. I had a request for another size, and that's as big as we go. So anyhow.
Definitely.
All right. Wish you well, Joe.
Yes. And
Thank
we
you.
Thank you again
Thank
will
for
be
having
here
me.
cheering you along.
Thanks everyone for
bet.
being there.
Thank you for being on the show. Thank everybody for watching. Nice group of people. We appreciate all of you. And also, next week, Sally Kanini from Kenya, the new ultra race giant from Kenya, is going to be with us. Well, she will be before the summer is over. And we're so excited about that. With that, we're going to ask Gregory to help us out of here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see everyone next week. Well, 2 days from now. Watch us on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to ring that bell on YouTube. Okay, bye-bye.
This is Gregory Zuber, thanking you for watching and sharing.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.